Do souls already have an agenda before they incarnate?
Yes.
And if so, when we're here and if we're awakened, can we choose to live a different reality than
Yes.
the one that we've prepared ourselves for?
The answer is yes to both questions. When you ask, do souls have an agenda before they come here, it does not mean that you're going to be a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. That you're going to play first base for the New York Yankees or first chair violin for the Philharmonic Orchestra of Croatia. It doesn't mean that. See, God is not a career counselor. So the soul does not come here with an agenda in the sense of an occupation, or even, for that matter, a specific activity that you're supposed to be doing. I said yes this fast to the question about the soul's agenda because all souls have the same agenda. So yes, you come here with an agenda already set because the agenda of all souls has been set at the outset, if you please. There is really no beginning and no end, but you understand. So at the moment that souls became souls, the agenda was set, and the agenda is identical for every soul in the universe. The agenda is to announce and declare, express and fulfill, become and experience who you really are. That's your agenda. That's your agenda, and that's your agenda. And that's even your agenda. But think of it in these terms. It's just what happens. But that's the agenda. So the agenda has been set. Now, can we change the trajectory? Can we change the events? Can we change, our life, in midstream if it seems to be going in one direction? And the answer is yes, because we always have free will. Free will is the natural inheritance and the natural state, actually. It's the natural state of who you are. That is, you are freedom personified because you are divinity personified. And the definition of divinity in a single word is freedom. That is, that which is divine is free to express and experience itself any way that it chooses precisely because it is divine. And there are no limitations of any kind, no restrictions, no requirements on the divine. And because there are no restrictions and no requirements, we would loosely define that as being ultimately free. So we are free to be, do, and have whatever we choose. Because we are free to be, do, and have whatever we choose, the answer to your second question is yes. At any time, you may change the trajectory of your life path. And you may do so right now by telling me just to, shut up.
I wanted to explain this to my father as he was on his deathbed. Mm-hmm. I wanted him to believe that his life didn't have to end, that he could choose. That he could choose to live if he wanted to. And I know that he loved us so much that he didn't want to leave. Or at least I feel that way.
But he did leave.
But he did.
Because he wanted to. Ladies and gentlemen, nobody dies at a time or in a way that is not of their choosing. I know that's a tough one. I know that's a tough one. But nobody dies at a time or in a way that is not of their choosing. Such a thing would be impossible given who and what you are. Unless you deny your own divinity, which you can do. You can't not be that, but you can not accept that. You can't not be divine, but you can decide that you're not divine. It won't change anything except your experience of it. See, I can't not be 6 feet tall. I'm 6 feet tall. I can't not be 6 feet tall. I can't not have blue eyes. I can pretend I don't have blue eyes or imagine that I don't have blue eyes, but I can't not have blue eyes because I have blue eyes. So you can't not be divine. Can't not be that, but you can not think you're that. You can think you're not that. So, with respect, I would say to a person who's dying, and I've had a little experience. Anybody in the room ever heard of a woman named Elizabeth Kubler-Ross? Yes. I worked on her staff for a couple of years. And I worked around her for more than a couple of years, about 4 or 5 years. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross is more widely known as the Death and Dying Lady. She wrote a book called On Death and Dying, which sold a quadrillion copies and became the standard, the gold standard about death and dying in the medical profession. She was a doctor and a psychiatrist. And I went to one of her retreats at one point when I was a younger man, and I was so impressed with her work and her life that I stood up at the end of the retreat. I managed to get to her. She was surrounded by people, but I managed to get to her, and I said, I would do anything to work with you. And she said, be careful what you say, young man. She had a very heavy Swiss accent. And a year later, I was working on her staff because she challenged me. She challenged me. I'm telling you this story for a reason. Elizabeth was very clear. She wrote a book called On Death and Dying. She was very clear about who we are and the whole death and dying process. You got real clear about that. And she would never say to a person who was, and this isn't to make you wrong, but to help you understand, yeah? She would never say to a person who was about to leave, you don't have to go if you don't want to. Because that would make them feel, if they're going anyway, like, you know, that they weren't able to do the magic to stay here. What she would say to a person who is terminally ill is, do what you choose to do. If this is your time to leave, you will know it, you will feel it, it will be natural and normal to you. Let yourself slip out knowing that I'm okay with that. Knowing that I'm okay with that. The greatest gift you can give to the dying is to let them know that you're okay that they're going. Then they can slip away not feeling like they're letting you down or somehow hurting you. You see? Now, it's no problem now because your dad understands all of this. He's totally clear. He was clear the instant that he moved over to the other side. In that instant, he was very clear. And he understood the emotion that was moving through you as you said those things to him. But in the future, if any of you ever encounter or confront a dear beloved one who is near passing away, to just say to them, it's okay if you feel that now is your time to go. I'm going to be all right. I don't need anything from you or for you that you don't choose willingly. Let yourself go to where you want to go. And that person can put their head back on the pillow and release and let go. So the comfort for you now is to know that he actually got exactly what he was choosing. And what he now knows is that you simply didn't know that. And at a conscious level, he may not have known it as well. We always don't know at a conscious level. But at a supra-conscious level, he was very clear, or he wouldn't have left. So it's all okay. That doesn't mean that you don't miss him. That doesn't mean that you don't wish that he didn't go. All of those things are true. But it does mean that he got his way. And that he's now so in flight. and so in joy, and so in the wonderment of the fullness of who he is. And he comes here now, in this moment, to tell you that. I know I'm not wrong about this. And that, my dear, is why he brought you here. That's why you came to this event, to hear this directly to you. Do you understand who you are? Do you understand how you can touch people? Are you getting it? Are you seeing it? This isn't about me. This is about you. Seeing who you are. And how you can touch other people in the most important moments of their life. By simply coming from your knowing of everything. There's nothing you do not know.